Dear colleagues, in this presentation we are going to discuss the role of online dictionaries in the process of foreign language acquisition. Although dictionaries are rarely viewed as a major component in that process, they do play an important role at all phases of language studies. Moreover, online dictionaries can improve or decrease the efficiency of the learning process, depending on how well they are selected and what properties they possess. We will also explore how these dictionaries can help teachers and students in their efforts. One of the most important activities entertained by individuals who learn languages is retrieval and analysis of lexical entries in dictionaries. In foreign language studies, the most in-demand dictionaries are bilingual ones. The use of these dictionaries forms the basis for learning the lexical system of the language. In the recent decades, dictionaries as sources of information underwent considerable changes. Traditional printed dictionaries have been largely displaced by emerging electronic and online dictionaries that offer fast retrieval of lexical data and flexible when it comes to updating and appending data. Rapid evolution of multilingual dictionaries, however, was not accompanied by studies aimed at determination of their characteristics and scope of application. As new lexical resources emerge, disappear, and change, selection of dictionaries that are best for each particular course is not as clear as it used to be. For this reason, identification and description of characteristics of dictionaries becomes essential. Besides, online dictionaries open new opportunities for human dictionary interaction and development of new functions that help optimize the foreign language learning process and professional translation work. Some characteristics of online dictionaries and printed ones are the same. These characteristics include up-to-date compliance. The dictionary should be consistent with the contemporary state of the language. Next comes objectivity. Interpretation of lexical entries shall be unbiased and free from any ideological or political views. Another characteristic is the lexical coverage, which is related both to the overall dictionary, how well the dictionary covers the relevant collection of lexical entries, and individual, how well it covers the data pertaining to individual lexical entries. Another important general characteristic is correctness of the interpretations and description of lexical unit given in the dictionary against linguistic norm. Online dictionary response time is the time elapsed from user's query submission to displaying translations to the user. Most online dictionaries are fast, others lose popularity. Another specific feature of online dictionaries is reversibility, the ability of the dictionary to find translations in both directions within the given language pair. Perfect reversibility cannot be possibly achieved. For example, search engines experience difficulties in cases where one word of the source language is translated with two or more words of the target language. All online dictionaries possess the properties listed above, but they are manifested differently. Knowing specifics of dictionaries, teachers can make educated recommendations on using one or another dictionary to their students. Dictionaries have another capacity yet unexplored, their cognitive faculty, which in this context is understood as the opportunity to obtain information on the user and his text-related activities based on the user's queries sent to the dictionary. To do so, it is important to recognize that the fact of turning to a dictionary means that the student has certain lexical need. The concept of lexical need is understood here as a necessity to obtain information about a lexical unit in order to go on with an adequate participation in the discourse. This need would have not arisen if the user had perfect competence in the foreign language. Analyzing this need and exploiting the knowledge acquired helps improve and speed up the learning process. Analysis of dictionary queries can reveal different types of deficiencies in students' linguistic competence, including limited vocabulary and knowledge of grammatical or cultural aspects needed for translation. For example, queries consisting of more than one word may demonstrate the student's inability to break the text into semantic units. By analyzing dictionary queries, it can be determined in what subject the student feels more confident, what aspects of the grammar and vocabulary need to be improved. This analysis can also identify the need for regrouping the students. It can also help choosing the best teaching methods and optimize the existing methodology employed for each particular group of or individual students. This table shows examples of inferences that can be made based on the student behavior when turning to the dictionary. For example, if most queries contain frequently used words, it may demonstrate that the student's vocabulary is poor. The versatile nature of cognitive faculty opens opportunities for improvement of the dictionary using state-of-the-art information technologies that can introduce new features that have potential for optimization of foreign language studies and translation. One of the most pressing problems the users of dictionaries face is excessive data produced by dictionaries in response to user queries. The list of translations can be very big and confusing. For example, in response to query sophisticated, the Multitran dictionary offered a list consisting of 92 translations of the word and 239 translations of phrases that include sophisticated. Making the right choice from these options is a time-consuming intellectual effort. Detection of patterns in lexical needs of dictionary users is essential for creation of smart dictionaries that respond with the translations Experiments run by the authors reveal the dependency of the term search time from the number of results produced by dictionaries in response to the user's query. Over 68% of the queries result in large lists of translations that take long time to look through. Time is also spent for returning to the text being translated. Duration of this component is a function of users' ability to shift attention from one task to the other. Our studies showed that out of the 4 phases of the dictionary use event, entering the query, waiting for response, search and result obtained, returning to translation, the last 2 contribute The noise can be reduced by limiting the scope of data returned in response to translation requests, and some dictionaries feature these limitations. For instance, Google Translate responds to the query barrel with only 12 results sorted Solutions to this problem can be found through studies of the cognitive properties of the dictionaries, resulting in introduction of a new property, adaptability, it as a capability of a dictionary to change its behavior in order to better meet lexical needs of the user. To overcome the challenges described above and create a truly responsive dictionary, the LexSite project was undertaken at Language Interface, USA. The goal is to make a dictionary that would tune up its behavior in order to fit best the user's needs, so that LexSite would monitor use queries and respond with most relevant translations in the context of the best queries. Here is an example of a sequence queries made by a user of the LexSite dictionary. From this example, some inferences can be readily made. First, apparently the user doesn't know English very well, otherwise he wouldn't search for Online dictionaries are one of the core components of the language learning process. While retaining the best characteristics of the traditional dictionaries, such as completeness, objectivity, up-to-date compliance, and correctness, they offer new properties, fast response, and reversibility, which greatly helps users seeking lexical help. When developing and teaching their courses, the teachers should realize what characteristics are essential for their specific goals. To do so, they need the information on characteristics of the available dictionaries. We also suggest that further innovations in the online lexicography shall be sought, such as application of cognitive abilities of dictionaries and addition of adaptive properties to the dictionaries. The authors keep working on research and development in these areas. Thank you for your attention.